What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of the Get It Right Saturday Night Podcast. I was your host until I disappeared for the podcast for like a solid month and a half, but I'm back. And I'm Mark Francis with my fellow co host, Colin Fursley,
What is going on, people?
and the Oscar Morale.
What's up, guys?
We're looking at probably around a 60-degree temperature differential between the Gainesville and Miami area to Colorado. We're currently 22 degrees outside, 16 inches of snow, and I still had class. That's dedication, everyone. I went.
Wow.
But besides that,
Nice job.
Colin, what are we talking about? Let's get right into it.
Yeah, man, we got a packed day, but we only got a couple things to talk about. That's because college football is heating up. The second to last college football playoff rankings got released the other day, and there's a whole lot of drama going on. A lot of different scenarios that we're going to go over. We're going to go through all the scenarios. We're going to say what we think if this team wins, if this team loses. Should Miami make the playoff? I know it's a hot topic of discussion. But first, we must start with one of the biggest stories that college football has seen in a very, very long time. Mr. Lane Kiffin has become the head coach at the Louisiana State University, LSU, there in Baton Rouge. He leaves Ole Miss, a team that is going to make the college football playoff, and it has caused a lot of commotion. So, Mark Francis, I will start off with you. If you would like to comment and give your thoughts on this big move.
Yeah, so, initially when we were talking about this last week with the boys sitting in Colin's living room with Papa Allen, as we were watching the Florida State, University of Florida game, you know, I initially I didn't think he was gonna leave. I feel like he's built a reputation at Ole Miss, still an SEC school, getting recruits. He's respected as a coach, and they're having the best year ever in school history. I didn't think he was gonna leave, and I know that Ole Miss said they were gonna match whatever offer that any other school would offer, and he still left. He went to LSU, and honestly, I'm not mad about it. I think this is a great opportunity for Lane Kiffin. I think the name of LSU is huge in recruiting. We know that they get tons of funds. We know that they get really big NIL deals for all their players, so the recruiting is going to go up, and especially for a coach like Lane Kiffin who's attractive to these players, right? It's hard to pass up this opportunity to coach a absolutely legendary college football program, and I can see why it was a tough decision, and I can see why he left, and I respect it. I think it's a good opportunity for him. I am disappointed by the AD of Ole Miss not allowing him to coach his team to the playoff. I think that's a little harsh. I get it that he left, he betrayed you, but he brought you to this point. Let him finish it out. Let him see how far they can go, and then let him leave. But he signed the LSU contract. Today was National Signing Day. Lots of players are already switching their commitments from Ole Miss to LSU. Been really interesting stuff. Excited to see what he does in the next 3 years or so.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, Oscar, Mark, you made a great point about the AD not letting him stay at Ole Miss. Oscar, you were shaking your head there. What do you think about that situation specifically?
Well, I think this just shows, like, this entire switch from LSU just kind of shows who Lane is. I mean, and are we honestly surprised? We've seen this before. But what really kind of stuck out about his time at Ole Miss was that he was really the one who built up that program to have it, to see it have the most success it's pretty much ever had. And hell, if he would have stayed like another 5 years there, they would have built a statue for him. At least the way, like, it was trending towards, like, like Mark said, they had the first 11-1 season ever under his tenure, and then he switches for a glitzier and glammier team with more resources, but people were already starting to want to play for Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. Like, people, like Mark said, were switching their commitments from Ole Miss to LSU because of Lane. So if you would have stayed at Ole Miss, you would have still brought in these talents and these high value prospects. But obviously, he wants to win a natty, probably, And even though I think he could have done it at Ole Miss, it's a lot easier to do at LSU just because of the funding and the resources they have, which is much more than at Ole Miss. Um, but I felt like he should have taken pride in the work he did at Ole Miss and stayed, honestly, in my opinion. Now, I do disagree with Mark on the fact where I think the one sane thing anybody has ever done in this entire situation was the AD told him to get the hell out, essentially, because, I mean, he switched for an SEC rival uh, and had Lane stayed, especially if they win a few games in the college football playoffs under him, I'm sure a lot of those players would have transferred out during the portal. So I think
Yeah.
that's what Ole Miss was pretty much trying to mitigate there.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I disagree with you with the thing about him winning a national championship at Ole Miss. I think that'd be very hard. And the difference between Ole Miss and LSU are the recruits. Obviously, there's more money, but when you're in Mississippi, first of all, Mississippi is not known for having the best football players. And then if you're from Mississippi, I mean, you're right on the border with Louisiana and with Alabama. Everyone's gonna want to go to Alabama. Ole Miss and Mississippi State don't have that type of like pull that a lot of these other bigger schools have. They're smaller. They don't have a big reputation. So people that are football players that are from Mississippi, they might not necessarily even want to stay at Ole Miss or Mississippi State. They might want to go to Alabama or the teams that I mentioned. The thing about LSU that's so enticing is that there's a lot of good football down in Louisiana.
No, I
And
understand that. It's just, for example, he already had amazing players under his
yes,
tenure,
but how did he get those
like
players?
like Quidshon Judkins
And how
and
did he get exactly? But how did he get all these players? He
Jackson
got
Dart, for example.
yeah, but those are good players, but the majority of those players are at Ole Miss or from the transfer portal. That's the thing that made Ole Miss great from the transfer portal. And it's a lot easier to have a team that you can build when the majority of those players come as a recruit. And then like in the NFL,
Yep.
you can go and dip into free agency in the transfer portal and improve your team. Your team should not be built fully solely by the transfer portal. You saw that with Florida State a couple of years ago. They were one of the best teams, top four team in the country. Their entire team was based off the transfer portal. So once all those players leave, the next year and now this year they suck because all those players are gone. You need to have a good base in recruiting, and it starts in your own state. That's why Florida has probably the best state for football along with Texas and California, but all Miami, Florida, and Florida State are all trying to scramble and trying to recruit those players to go to their school. It's a lot harder to retain talent.
Well,
That's why
Cristobal
now,
will tell you a lot about that. Actually, speaking of, I think it's funny that you say that players from Mississippi don't want to stay. Let me just double check this now, but I'm pretty sure one of our top recruits here today on signing day was an offensive lineman from Mississippi. Let me just double
yeah.
check this real
So
quick.
so yeah, that's my point with that. There's the hot Mississippi's not a huge hotbed for football. Louisiana, the thing with Louisiana is there's only one school. There's no Louisiana and Louisiana State. It's just LSU.
Yeah.
LSU is the only school there. So if you're born in Louisiana and you're good at football, you want to go to LSU. It's way easier than trying to recruit people to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So I
I,
think
I
Lane
do.
Kiffin's.
I do
Yeah,
want to say
I just
something.
yeah.
A stat. I actually saw
Oh,
this
I
yesterday.
lied. He's from Missouri. He's from Nixa,
Okay.
Missouri.
You know,
Mark,
a,
what's up?
a stat. I saw this yesterday as I was going to sleep. Um, some people will regard LSU as a wide receiver U, right? We've seen talents like Jamar Chase. We've seen talents like Justin
Hmm.
Jefferson, like Malik Neighbors. A lot of these studs. All these guys are from the southern area of Louisiana, and they are all within an hour and 40-minute proximity of each other. So when you mentioned that in-state kind of recruitment, you can see that a lot of these talents from Louisiana that are becoming absolutely impeccable players in the NFL are all from almost a similar area in the state of Louisiana, and they all want to go to LSU. So I just wanted to kind of random fact that I saw. I think it was an
Yeah.
hour 43 minutes from the furthest of each two recruit that were some of the best wide receivers that we've seen in in college football history.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So with all that, totally agree with Lane Kiffin's decision, but here's the thing. The problem is with the media. We're not real media,
Yeah,
but
we don't got media passes.
exactly,
We got
exactly.
field access. What?
The thing is everyone's trying to like decide whether or not Lane Kiffin did the right thing or the wrong thing. Guys, who cares? It doesn't matter. It's his job. If he wants to go make more money at a better school, who would say no to that?
Yeah,
It's not our role to say that he's
No,
wrong or
money
he's
money
right.
talks
it's
for
like it's
sure.
it's like Colin
You're
saying that
going,
he wants to go from Goldman Sachs to J.P. Morgan Chase, and they're giving him 200 million more. You know,
yeah,
Eh,
yeah,
I would
exactly,
take the more
exactly.
money, bro.
100% comparable.
Eh,
Exactly. He's making more money and he's going to a better school. It's like you're gonna blame him for doing that. And then the other thing is what should he have stayed at Ole Miss to finish the season? I see it both ways. Like if he stays at Ole Miss, it's very obvious that he's going to try to recruit players to LSU, which by the way, those players are already going to LSU, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But he would try to recruit players to LSU. Also, they're direct rivals of each other, so it'd be very, very awkward to do that. However, on the flip side, you could also see that this is once in a lifetime like opportunity for Ole Miss to win a national championship. And without Lane Kiffin, it's going to be harder to do that. I still think they'll be fine, but it'll
So
be harder to do that. So it might be worth it for the AD to have kept him just for this one this is our last chance. We're going to go all in, even if it means losing some players for next year. This is our best chance we're going to have in a long time. So
so
we need to keep Lane Kiffin. But
that
I
leads
totally
me.
see him not doing that, and I think that those are just like two of the sides to it. I don't have the right answer, but I don't. It doesn't really
I
matter
don't
to
think
me.
I
anybody
don't
really
think anybody
does.
has the right answer. I don't even think Lane Kiffin has the right answer. I think Lane Kiffin is just, going out on a limb and saying, it's my time. He wants to do something bigger and better, and he's taking the gamble on this. It might not work out. He could get fired like Coach O within 3 years, and that's it. You don't know what's going to
Yeah, but
happen.
but he won a natty, so I
Yeah,
think it was worth it.
but you see, but Colin, you mentioning about Ole Miss and their historical run, you know, it leads me to the question: if Ole Miss wins the national championship, who gets the credit? Is it Lane Kiffin for leading
Oh
them
yeah,
to 11
yeah,
and
yeah,
1 season? Is it the
yeah. Of course it's
players for
Lane.
their tenacity because they lost their head coach and were continued to play at an excelling level in the playoffs without their head coach? I mean, who gets all the flowers at that point?
Well, the credit, and this goes for any sport, any team, in anything ever. It's the players. The players play the game. The players get all the credit. But if the question is who gets the credit, this interim head coach or Lane Kiffin, it's Lane Kiffin. The only reason they're in this position in the first place is Lane Kiffin. Everyone's booing Lane Kiffin on the tarmac of the airport because of him leaving. People only do that when you did something good. And
Yeah,
at the end of the
I
day,
used to
he's
get
the
booed a
one
lot.
that
Still
brought the
get booed to
school
this day.
back. Yeah, no one boos you, bro. He's the one that brought them there, and I think that years from now down the line when Ole Miss starts becoming doo doo, they're gonna wish Lane Kiffin, they're gonna hold him in high regard because he's the reason that Ole Miss is doing as well as they're doing right now. Um, and also Ole Miss is now winning the national championship.
No,
Even
I'm
with
just
Lane
saying
Kiffin
in
there,
the in
I
the
don't think they would have
in the
won.
hypothetical. I'm just saying in the
No, in
hypothetical.
the
I
hypothetical,
think look, it's
but this,
obvious.
but
There's the four best teams that are in the college football playoff. That I mean, it's like these guys have targets on their back, and I mean you don't see anyone beating them. So, but
yeah,
sorry.
yeah. So I guess let's get into that right now. College football playoff rankings have come out the other day, like I was mentioning earlier. So first we're gonna look at we'll look at the bracket, the current bracket, then we'll get into the overall top 25, and then we'll get into the games that are happening this weekend that are gonna determine the final rankings that we see next week. So first
Yeah.
off, looking at the bracket, uh, so A&M loses to Texas. That was a big loss. They go from number 3 to number 7. All the teams in that are all the teams there move up a spot. So Georgia goes from 4 to 3, Texas Tech goes from 5 to 4, and so on. This goes all the way to Ole Miss. Even despite Lane Kiffin leaving, they still leave Ole Miss there, which I think is right. You cannot dock Ole Miss for Lane Kiffin leaving. They haven't played a game. You don't know how they're going to be. They made the right decision leaving Ole
Yep.
Miss right there. 7 is A&M, like I said. 8, Oklahoma stays there. And then very, very interesting switch. Alabama and Notre Dame swap places, and they both won their game. Very, very interesting. I have my theory on this. I was talking to Mr. Miles yesterday when I saw this. And then the 11, instead of leaving Miami in there and whoever else, Memphis, Tulane, whatever, they decided to just insert conference champion number 4, conference champion number 5. So the top 2 remaining highest ranked conference champions will become the 11th and 12th seed. A lot of things to talk about. A lot of things to talk about.
Yeah, a lot.
That we'll get into all of the scenarios, but the first thing I want to mention is the switch of Alabama and Notre Dame. And the reason that they did this is the only reason. First of all, I think this is the right move
I agree.
because after Alabama lost to Oklahoma, they dropped Alabama behind Notre Dame, and I disagree with that from the start. I thought Alabama should have still been.
We talked about this.
Yeah, exactly.
When we were at your house, we literally both said that we never thought Alabama should have dropped that low in the first place. I think this is the committee kind of wiping their butts.
Exactly.
Off of that mistake.
Here's the thing,
think they have a lot of wiping to do, but
yeah, I agree with that statement.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I don't think they're correcting their mistake that they made last time, but I don't think they're just correcting the mistake.
It's
the reason
so that
is
if they lose the conference championship game, they're still in the playoffs, which I agree with. By the way, I think if you earn the privilege to go, especially the SEC championship
Alabama's
game,
playing Georgia, correct?
Yes.
And let's be real, if Alabama loses, Alabama should still stay in the playoff.
Exactly.
100% agree.
So they did that so that way if they lose, instead of dropping them from 9 to 10 or from 10 to 11 and out, they drop them from 9 to 10.
Yep.
Or sorry, from 9 to 10 to keep them in. So that's that. Now, a lot of things to go over. First, I want to pull up the entire ranking so we see the rest of it. After Notre Dame at 10, you got BYU at 11.
Why don't we start at 14? Really?
Why?
Because Vanderbilt, 14.
No, they're eliminated.
But I would say 14 was like the last team. Vanderbilt was like the last team who kind of like was trying to make a playoff push. You know, being 10-2.
Yeah.
10-2 in the SEC, having just beat ranked Tennessee in Knoxville.
But Texas and Vanderbilt are gone. Like you're right. Those are the teams that were on the cutoff line, but they're gone. It's just up to BYU and Miami.
And also,
Texas,
I think it's interesting that Texas is ranked ahead of Vanderbilt, even though they have one more loss.
Well, Texas beat them. Texas beat them.
Thank you. It's because I was about to say they're probably honoring that head-to-head, which is very fair.
And because Texas just beat A&M, so that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So as you can see, it has the conferences next to each player's name, each team's name. So in the American, it's Tulane and North Texas. They are facing off in the conference championship game. And then JMU cracks into the top 25. They're in the Sun Belt. So right here, it's on Instagram, so it's going to look a little weird. But these are the conference championship game matchups. So, for example, the CUSA, like that's irrelevant. MAC is irrelevant. But the main ones there,
Jackson State is not irrelevant, bro.
That is not Jackson State. That is Jacksonville State. Big difference. Duke is playing Virginia in the ACC championship game. That's a whole nother conversation. That's hilarious.
We'll get into that.
Yeah. And then, like I said, the American, it's going to be North Texas and Tulane. The Big 12 is BYU, Texas Tech, and so on. The other one is the Sun Belt, Troy versus JMU. JMU are heavy favorites. I think when we speak about it, we're just going to assume that JMU's in for simplicity purposes, because if JMU loses, and the craziest scenario is if JMU loses and Duke wins, what are we gonna do? That's gonna be hilarious. But I don't want to get into that right now.
I think if JMU loses and Duke wins, bro, I think you gotta put Jacksonville State.
I hate to say it, but according to the rules, Mark would probably be right. Or honestly, it would probably be Boise State.
Well, no, it depends where they ranked 26 through infinity. It depends. That's when it would get. But that's
just be the highest ranked conference champion.
Exactly. So those teams won't be ranked in the top 25. They'll be ranked lower. We won't be able to see those rankings, but the committee will put them together themselves. Blah blah blah. Okay, so the first thing that we want to talk about is the Big 12 championship is going to be the deciding factor in all of this, and the
Yeah.
reason is because Texas Tech, no matter what happens, they're going to be in. If Texas Tech wins the Big 12, they're going to be in.
And they'll have a
BYU's
first
gonna
round
get-
bye.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
If
Yeah.
Texas
Yeah.
Tech
yeah.
wins, they'll have
Yeah.
their first round bye and they're automatically
yeah.
in. Yeah.
So actually, let me start with this. If BYU wins, it's going to make things a whole lot easier, because then BYU's going to get in, and Texas
And it
Tech
would
is still
bump
going
out
to be
Notre
in.
Dame.
Yeah, they'll bump out Notre Dame, and then it'll
Yeah.
be Ohio State through 10 to BYU. Like that's it. The thing that's going to happen, the problem that's going to arise is if Texas Tech wins, and Texas Tech is probably going to win. They already played BYU. They won already. It's going to be a rematch. Texas Tech are favorites. I think they're going to win. If that happens, BYU is going to get bounced, which means 10 is Notre Dame and 11 is Miami. They're ranked right next to each other,
Yeah.
and they both played. Now,
Mhm.
I don't exactly remember my stance on this specifically last time we talked. I know I said, like, I liked Notre Dame being ranked ahead of Miami because of the losses that Miami has, I think are bad. But Miami was ranked lower than Notre Dame. There was a larger gap. The fact that the gap is getting smaller and all those teams in between are getting bounced, my opinion has changed. If it becomes BYU loses and Notre Dame and Miami are exactly one spot difference from each other, Miami 100%
You
deserves
have
to get
to
in.
put
And I think
Miami
the three of us
ahead
all
of
agree with
Notre
that.
Dame. You have
Thank
to.
you, boys.
100%.
If you're honoring the
100%.
head-to-head with Texas and Vanderbilt, you have to honor the head-to-head of Notre Dame and Miami.
Well, not just that. If they're honoring every single head-to-head that is relevant in the top 15, which they have, then this is the only head-to-head they haven't honored.
Yeah, that's
Texas
just
Tech
racism
is ahead
at
of
that point.
BYU.
Yeah.
Georgia is the only, I guess, head-to-head that, they lost to Bama, but Georgia's 11-1 and Bama's 10-2.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
It's the only comparable head-to-head that's not
Look,
being honored. But
and you
Yeah.
gotta see this stat, right? Notre Dame
You know,
and Miami had shared
Oklahoma beat
four
Bama.
common opponents, right?
Texas beat Vanderbilt.
Yep.
What other head-to-head is there? Who did Ole Miss beat? Ole Miss beat Oklahoma, no? Yeah.
Didn't Virginia
did.
beat Georgia
Ole Miss
Tech?
beat Oklahoma. Yeah. No. Virginia hasn't beaten Georgia. I don't think they've played.
I don't
Virginia
think
did not
they
play.
played.
Virginia didn't play
Yeah.
Georgia Tech.
But I think that's something that we can all agree on. I mean, I do think so.
And the head-to-head has to matter. And sorry,
Yeah.
let me just take over here for a sec. But
Yeah.
We have
I think the
analyst himself, Oscar Morrow.
what the committee is doing with this is they're setting up a very dangerous precedent where they're not making big games matter whatsoever. And the fact that these teams are risking their schedule by scheduling these big games. So the two teams you can really look at here are Texas and Miami that have been a victim of this year from the committee. Now, the thing with Texas is they have 3 losses, and they lost to Georgia. However, I ask you guys this. If Texas would have played somebody else week 1 besides Ohio, and they're at 10-2 with all the wins that they have over Oklahoma, over Texas A&M, over who else did they beat? Over Vanderbilt.
Yeah, but they lost. I don't like this argument, to be honest.
No, I know. They lost, but I'm saying had they not scheduled that big game.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Someone made a great point about this on TV yesterday. They scheduled these games 15 years in advance. That's not an excuse. It's not like they scheduled it before the season. Oh, let's schedule a tough game against Ohio State. No, they scheduled this 10 years ago.
Well,
no one
that's
knew
fair.
what these teams were going to be good or not. It's just random.
Well, that's fair. However, that's not the case for Notre Dame. Notre Dame calls in on a year-by-year basis to schedule games with teams.
Which is, I think, unfair, and I think Notre Dame has to
not only
join a
that,
conference. They have to join a conference.
well, they don't
I mean,
have to,
they,
but
Yeah,
I
I don't
think
think they
they
need to
should.
do
Look,
that.
if you're a powerhouse team like this,
Well, you think they should. That doesn't mean they have
you
to. They don't got
should.
to do
I
anything.
mean, you should join the ACC. You should join the Big 12. You should join the Big 10. I mean, you have to join some sort of division. I mean, you're playing trash ass teams like like Northern Dakota State
Okay,
of
but
Mines.
wait.
Like,
Their strength of schedule is better than Miami's. They're not playing trash
no.
teams.
Their strength of schedule is similar to Miami's. I think they're
It is.
literally
It's
only
2 spots ahead.
yeah. I was
but
gonna say
okay.
one or two spots different.
That's what I'm saying. They're not playing trash teams. They're not playing Alabama, but they're not
yeah,
playing
but
South Georgia
I mean,
Tech, like whatever.
but they're not
Okay,
playing
but the
amazing
point
teams
is,
either.
the
They don't have
point is,
competitive games.
the game was played, regardless of what week it was, and the result needs to matter, because if the committee leaves out Miami, because
Well, of course.
if the committee leaves out Miami, then you're just setting up that dangerous precedent, like I said, where teams are not
Yeah.
going to want to schedule big games, and I think
Of course.
that's a really, really bad thing for college football, because nobody's
Yeah.
going to want to play hard games. All that's going to matter is your resume. How many wins and losses do you have? So if you have a cakewalk of a schedule, and then you're undefeated the whole season, like what does that really say about your team? You know what I'm saying?
Look,
Yeah.
what was the
Not
reason
only
they
that-
expanded the playoff from 4 to 12 teams?
Not
Because
only that, the committee. Sorry, Mark.
No,
Not
go
only
ahead.
that, the committee has contradicted itself on multiple occasions with the Notre Dame Miami situation on itself. So I think it was either week 1 or week 2 of the playoff rankings. They were asked like, how close does Miami like have to like get to Notre Dame for them to be considered close to each other, because Hunter Yurachek, the commissioner of the committee, right? Is that his position?
Yeah.
Or he's
Mhm.
yeah, the commissioner of the committee. He said that their teams are potted in or put in pods of 3, essentially groups of 3, which is how they're evaluated. So Notre Dame wasn't being compared to Miami when they were like, I think Notre Dame was like 10 or 9 and Miami was 15. Okay, so they said they need to be in groups of 3. Then Miami, 2 weeks ago, got within 3 spots of Notre Dame. And I said, oh no, we're still not evaluating and comparing Notre Dame in the same like pod as. Honestly, it looks really bad on the committee, and I hate to say this because I don't want it to be true, but it really just looks like there's favoritism for Notre Dame to be
100%.
in the playoffs over Miami.
I 100% agree with you.
And while I think Notre Dame is a really good team and they can make some serious damage in the playoffs, you can't. You just simply can't put them in over Miami, because Miami won a game against them. They have the same schedule. I mean, they have the same record. By all the metrics, they're pretty much identical. Like, they're within a few spots of each other.
They share
3
4.
Exactly. 3 out of the 4 common opponents they've played, Miami won by a larger margin in 3 of them. And in the Syracuse game that Notre Dame played against Miami, where they won 70-7, not only was Syracuse playing with a backup, not even a backup quarterback, a walk-up quarterback who was a lacrosse player at Syracuse, half the coaching staff wasn't there for that game either. So they played a shell version of Syracuse that Miami didn't play. Miami played an actual Syracuse team. And by every logical reasoning, by every logical argument, Miami should be in over Notre Dame. Now, preferably, you can have both of these teams in the playoffs, because I think both of them do deserve to be in the playoffs. But you
can't take anyone out. You just
yeah,
can't.
because of the way the rankings are right now, obviously it's going to come down between Notre Dame or Miami. And if like you said, Colin, BYU loses, and Heather Denich actually said today that there's a possibility that if BYU loses but it's not like a huge loss, or it's they lose by 3 points, or they lose by maybe just one score. BYU could stay at 11, and the committee can save themselves the argument of Notre Dame and Miami having BYU as that buffer at the 11th spot, because BYU still wouldn't get into the playoffs that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Again, I think all of that is just you're doing all this gymnastics just to get around the Notre Dame Miami conversation and argument, when you shouldn't be afraid of that. Like, your job is to evaluate all these teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
This is
I'm
what
just
I think.
disappointed. I'm just very disappointed. I have nothing else to say. After yesterday's rankings, I just...
Yeah.
You know, I have my winter jacket. I know, very random. My winter jacket is it's a 90s winter jacket. I was wearing it today. It's the first day we got snow. And every person that came up to me and complimented me on my jacket, or people I knew, the first thing they asked is, "What do you think of the rankings?" And I tell them the same thing. I tell them, next week we're going to be in. I think, Oscar, I have to agree with you on this. I feel like they're procrastinating it. They don't want to make a decision. They're waiting. They're waiting for something ultimately to happen that they assume could be crazy, and it's not going to happen. And it's going to end up being Notre Dame is at 10, Miami's at 11, and you got to choose. You have to choose, and you have to base the head-to-head.
Well, here's what I think. I think, which this could be wrong, this is just my perception of it. I think that the rankings and the bracket are two different things. And here's what I mean. I think when you do the rankings are, like, forget the CFP rankings. Think about the AP poll. The rankings are like, who do you think is the better team? Who do you think, by metrics, head-to-head, whatever, and the eye test all together, who do you think is the better team? That's what the rankings are. So in these this is just my personal opinion. I think Notre Dame is better than Miami. I think if they played again, I think Notre Dame would win. So therefore,
people said
wait,
that.
Hold on.
People said that in August, though. Miami was an underdog at home against Notre Dame in August.
That's different. No, they hadn't played. You don't know who's going to win in week 1 of any sport. It's the
I think
first
if
game.
they play now, Miami still wins. They just match up well against Notre Dame. They have the two best edge rushers in the country.
That's your opinion.
A solid offense. So, and with multiple pieces of threat, they have 3 different types of running backs that are very effective. A power back, an elusive back in Pringle, and a power back in Fletcher. Then they have arguably the most valuable offensive weapon in college football right now in Malachi Toney, who can not only is an electric receiver, but can also throw the ball and be a quarterback out of the Wildcat formation, where they've had great success. I mean, you want to talk about the eye test. Miami's offense has looked insane over the last month since their loss to SMU.
Yeah, that's true. But I still think that Notre Dame would win, and I think the majority of the country, unbiased opinions, would say that Notre Dame would win this game. I think also in the sports books, Notre Dame would be favored. My point is that I think in the rankings, just the rankings, it is my opinion that I agree that Notre Dame is ranked ahead of Miami. I think Notre Dame is a better team. I think the majority of people feel that way as well, which is why Notre Dame is ahead of Miami in the rankings. I agree with the rankings.
Yeah.
However, for me, it is my opinion that the bracket, the college football playoff bracket, is a different story. I think when you're talking down to your season comes down to playing in a college football playoff with a chance to win the national championship, that's when things get more. You have to be more specific. You have to be more exact. And in that case, that is why I think Miami should be in the bracket. They should be in the playoff over Notre Dame, because they won that head-to-head. And if, like we've all been saying, because we all agree,
it's
the reason is because
what's it called? It's in the college football playoffs committees. I'm forgetting the word right now, but essentially
the rules, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Their criteria or whatever.
Exactly, the criteria for evaluation. Head-to-head is the second criteria.
Well,
used to
the
evaluate.
criteria are not in any specific order. They're just all equally weighted. But my
Yeah,
point is that I think that because of the head-to-head, that's the most valuable, data point that there is,
it
really.
should.
They
Yeah,
play
it
each other.
really should be. That's
The
why you play
problem is that
football, is to win the
the
games.
problem exactly. The problem that people are saying is that they played 5 months ago, so the teams are different, which I agree with in terms of the rankings, but not the bracket. It still matters. They played each other and they won. So I think when it comes down to the college football playoff bracket, Miami should be ahead of Notre Dame. However, if we went back a couple years and this was a 4-team playoff and it was just the top 4 teams and 5 through 25 didn't matter, I think this is right. I think Notre Dame in the rankings should be ranked ahead of Miami. I think they're a better team based on what we've seen throughout the entire season. However, like I mentioned, because they played and it's more intense, it's more like we need to get into the playoff. Like the playoff is 1 through 12. It's a hard number, 12.
Well, really, it's 1 through 10.
Miami should be in.
But
Yeah, but you know what I mean. That's what I think. I think the perception of the rankings and the perception of the bracket are two different things.
I don't understand how the rankings in the bracket can be different, though.
Because the
I
rankings
just
are the rankings, and this is, like I said, this is my perception. The rankings are the ranking the best teams in terms of like who's more deserving, I guess, to be in the conversation to be a top team. Whereas the bracket is more like hard, like this is what you did on the field, like taking away eye tests, taking away stats, taking away everything. Just straight games played. The bracket is like, if you won your game, you should be in.
Yeah.
Because like the whole thing that Oscar's saying is, what's the point of playing Notre Dame and winning if that doesn't help us be higher than them in the rankings? Now, the problem is, which is it's a lot easier
especially when we
said
have the
than done,
same
obviously.
record.
Yes, but that's a whole you can't say that you guys have the same record and make that as an argument because they lost to
Well, the
two
strength of
top
record
12
is
teams.
okay, but the strength of record is 2 spots away from each other. So yeah, it's the same record.
I don't know what the strength of record is. I know the strength of schedule is 2 spots away. Maybe it's the record as well. I don't know. But
Search
my
up-
point is
Search up
that
their strength of record. They're within 2 spots of each other, I believe.
the thing is that Miami lost to 2 bad teams. They're just bad. They're bad teams. They're just bad, and there's no way around that. That's the argument for Notre Dame, is that Miami lost to 2 teams they had no business
Which
losing
the
to,
SMU loss, if you really want to get
and the
into
Louisville
it.
lost too. Both of them.
No, I know,
They're
but
both
if you really
horrible
want to get
losses.
into it, the SMU loss shouldn't have been a loss because there was a late roughing the passer call on 4th down that shouldn't have happened because one of the referees didn't blow their whistle, which is why the roughing the passer happened, because the player coming off the edge didn't hear a whistle, which made him think that it was a live play.
Yeah, but you can say that for any game. I guarantee you can go back to
their
Notre Dame versus
offensive line,
Miami.
okay, but their offensive, if anything, they shouldn't have called it a roughing the passer play. They should have
I
corrected.
agree with you. I'm sure there was a missed call there. I agree with you. I'm just saying, if we went back to literally any game, and I'm using Notre Dame and Miami as an example, I'm sure if we go back to Notre Dame and Miami, there was a call that something could have happened that would have
We
changed.
can check because the ACC is going to be playing the game for the next 2 days on repeat.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's funny.
So look, that's my opinion. I think the two things are slightly different. Not drastically different, just slightly different. I think the perception of the rankings are, who's looking like the best team, and the brackets are who's the most like the team that proved like quantitatively that they should be in the field. I don't know if that makes any sense. But
yeah,
I
that's
mean,
my
look,
opinion on
look.
that.
In the end, it's going to come down to Texas Tech needs to beat BYU, and you have Notre Dame and Miami next to each other, and it just depends if they're going to honor that head-to-head. And
Yeah.
I think everyone knows the right answer, and I think you should honor the head-to-head. But knowing how the community is acting right now and what they're doing, I don't think they're going to honor it. And deep down, like really deep down, and it bothers me, I think Notre Dame's going to get in. Very deep down.
All right. Well, we'll
And it
see
really
with
bothers
that.
me. But I think Miami should be in. But I think if I'm the committee, if
the
I'm the
whole
committee,
world thinks
and,
Miami should
and,
be in. You look
and,
at any
I know.
like
I've been seeing TikToks and Reels
ESPN,
and everybody. I'm seeing everyone's saying how Miami should be.
anybody
I'm
who
seeing
has a platform online is saying that Miami should be getting it.
absolutely, and I absolutely agree with them.
I mean, look at
But
Josh Pate, one of the most respected figures in college football. He went off on the committee this week about the whole Miami Notre Dame situation.
I think clearly they've been holding this off until last minute, and these rankings are set up not because these are the best rankings for this week. It's the best setup for next week. It's the best setup for those conference championship games, is what I think. And like Colin said, that buffer of BYU in the middle, it's
Well, I'm hoping that
It's not
BYU wins, so we don't got to worry about none of this. Sorry, Oscar.
look,
Go Cougars.
Look, I think BYU is a great team. I think BYU could even be ranked higher if they wanted to, but clearly
Well, I don't think BYU is going to win, man. Texas
Yeah,
dominated them last
I don't
time.
think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, we'll see. And then the other part is the other conference champions. So if Duke wins, that's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah.
But North Texas versus Tulane is going to be a great game, and the winner of that is guaranteed to. Well, the Heat lost by 10. That's great. The winner of that is gonna be guaranteed to make the playoffs. So that should be very interesting, especially since the head coach of Tulane is now the head coach of Florida, head coaching two teams at the exact same time. The funny thing is, though, is I said this last year because it just worked out with the rankings, and it's kind of working out the same way again. It's not going to happen. This is kind of a moot point, but I think the college football playoff should have only been 8 teams. I've been saying that from the beginning. I don't know why it was 12. I think 8 teams would be perfect because no one would argue that Ohio State through Oklahoma, that's it. We don't need the other teams. Ohio State through Oklahoma are the best teams. It's not even close. And it would just make things a whole lot easier.
I don't know about Oklahoma. They have zero offense. They literally only rely on their defense.
I know, and they've been beating all that they beat. The only team that I would rival them with is Alabama, and they beat Alabama. So that's why I'm saying I think it's a like no one would really debate those
the
8
SEC
teams.
runs college football, bro.
And the Big Ten, man. Big Ten is going strong.
That's crazy, bro.
Well, the Big Ten has, 3 teams, and that's it. They're very top-heavy. Other than that,
I gotta say,
Yeah,
Fernando
but-
Mendoza.
Dude, Jeremiah Love needs to win the Heisman, man. He's not going to, but he deserves
He's not
it.
going to. It's gonna be Mendoza, bro.
I'd be
Everyone
very
loves him, bro.
disappointed in
Everyone
that.
loves him. He's a lovable guy, and they're gonna do that. I'm telling you.
a
Yeah.
lovable guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Jeremiah
Love.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep an eye on these games that are going on next weekend. It's gonna really decide a
I've
lot
just-
on the
I've
playoff
just
committee.
lost all hope.
So, Colin, with this game between Indiana and Ohio State, the loser will still stay in
Oh,
the
I'm
top
so
4,
excited.
right?
Top 4.
Yeah, probably.
Because Ohio State and Indiana are
So
1
what,
and 2.
what will happen if Georgia wins the SEC? They'll probably go up to that 2 spot, and Indiana or Ohio State, whoever loses, goes down to the 3 spot.
Okay. Man,
No, I think Tech would jump them. I think they would go down to 4. I think the loser goes to 4 or 5.
okay.
I think so. That's my opinion.
Man, that's gonna be such a good game, bro.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that game. All right, let's make our picks for these games, shall we? We're not going to worry about the random conferences, but Duke versus Virginia. I'm going to go with Virginia. I really want Duke to win. That'd be very funny, but I'm going to go with Virginia.
I can't believe Duke is in the ACC title game, and honestly, yeah.
All right, Mark, go ahead.
I think
Man.
Virginia's gonna
Oscar's-
win.
Man,
I
I
think
think
Virginia's
Virginia's
gonna
gonna win, but I really hope Duke wins, bro. I want to see chaos. I want to see chaos.
Duke is the embodiment of chaos in college football.
Bro, I want to see chaos, bro. It'd be so funny.
Yep. All right, the American Conference, North Texas versus Tulane. I'm going to go with Tulane. I think they're going to get it done.
Yeah, I agree. I think Tulane gets it done. I think I know someone that goes to Tulane.
I
so.
agree.
Oh, man. All right. Big 12, BYU, Texas Tech. I think we all said Texas Tech.
Yeah.
All right. And then let's skip ahead a little bit. JMU, whatever. Forget about them. All right. I want to do the SEC championship game first. Who do you think is going to win the SEC championship?
Honestly, Alabama. They have still yet to lose to Georgia.
That's true. Mark?
But is it Kirby Smart only has one win against Alabama in his coaching tenure at Georgia? No?
Either one or two. I'm not sure.
You know,
But
this
yeah.
is a classic matchup we've seen over the last 2 years, and Alabama has come out on top, and I have to agree. I think Alabama takes this. Close game, though. I think within 3 points.
Yeah, definitely going to be a close game. I'm going to go with Georgia. I think Alabama won the first one. I think Alabama is still one of my favorite teams. I really like Ty Simpson. I think he's very good. But I'm going to go with Georgia. I think Alabama's been slipping a little bit, especially on defense. I'm going to go with the Dogs. And then last but not least, number 1 versus number 2. The first top 2 conference championship game in, I think, 15 years, something like that. It's been a while. Ohio State and Indiana. The game is in Indianapolis, so a lot of home fans there for Indiana. I'm very excited for this game, but I'm gonna go with the Ohio State Buckeyes. I think they're gonna win.
It's just hard to bet against Ohio State, man.
Even
Very
without
true.
their offensive coordinator, bro.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Even
Ohio
without their
State,
offensive coordinator,
For sure.
I
Yeah.
want Indiana,
definitely.
bro.
Yeah, well, you want Indiana, but who do you think is gonna win?
Indiana.
No, you don't.
I'm so serious.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great game.
think it's gonna be a great game.
I'm curious to see the margin of victory because I think Ohio State, like, I really want to say that I think Ohio State's gonna blow them out. I just think I think they're just on another level. Like
I
Indiana,
don't think so.
but yeah,
I think
I don't.
I don't think
I
it's
don't
going to be
think
a
so.
blowout, Colin. But
I don't think so either. But I like if it happens, I wouldn't be surprised.
10 points max. 10 point gap max.
You really think so?
Yeah,
I just think
yeah.
Indiana has only played one good team the entire year, and they won.
Well,
Like it was a very
bro,
impressive win.
they
But
beat
they've only
Oregon
played.
away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was a very impressive win. But I just think that like I haven't really seen them be tested really. Ohio State has played a good amount, not like an SEC schedule, but they've played better teams and they've proven again and again that they are
You know,
incredibly good. And I just maybe it's a little Indiana
people
bias.
aren't
to
talking
think
about
that,
Oregon
but-
that much, bro.
Well, yeah, because they've slowed down a bunch ever
But-
since they lost to Indiana. They've been a little sluggish.
But bro, Oregon's a threat. I mean, they have that playoff experience, bro.
I mean,
They could
No,
win the
I mean-
whole thing if they go ballistics.
well, yeah, I agree. Yeah, so should be fun. Should be very, very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's about it with college football. Very heated debate. Oscar's getting very triggered over there. We're gonna see what happens next week. Go Cougars! Cougars need to put an end to this madness.
Go Raiders.
Yeah. Go Red. Yeah. All right. I'm
Go
not-
Ore Diggers.
Go. How are the Ore Diggers doing?
I
Pretty
think we're
bad?
like 9-3. We didn't make the playoff.
Dang, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. They keep mentioning that punter you guys got that's at Alabama now. They keep mentioning him
bro.
every time.
Yeah,
He's
I was
cracked.
gonna say I always see it
Look,
on the
look,
broadcast now.
He's
Colorado
man,
School of Mines, and I'm like, oh geez, no.
Oh, geez,
Yeah,
no.
oh,
He,
geez,
look,
no.
he's
Ore
a man.
Diggers.
That kid is talented, man. He's something that it's not
He can
just
really kick that
D2.
ball.
It's NCAA history has never seen before because he holds NCAA records, beyond impressive, and I mean just wow, like genuinely good for him.
Wow. Yeah.
I think he'll be great.
Very good.
Hopefully he doesn't punt too much, but you know,
He's been punting a lot recently. Alabama's been struggling
Yeah,
on
I know,
the struggle bus. All right. Well, yeah, it's gonna be a great weekend of college football, and now let's get into the National Football League. I think would be a good place to go. We're gonna go do a little recap of Week 13 on the NFL, and we're gonna start off with the Thanksgiving games. 3 Thanksgiving games. They're all very, very entertaining. First up, Packers. They beat the Lions, sweep them for the season, and yeah, I thought it was a very great game. Jordan Love clutch at the end there, and the defense stood tall as usual. So that was that. Chiefs Cowboys also very entertaining. Broke the record for the
one of the most
highest
viewed.
watched.
Yeah.
No, it is no, not the one of the most. It is the highest watched regular season NFL game of all time, and I think it broke the record by like a very large margin. I think it was about 15 million or so.
It was a good game, and you know I know a
very
lot of.
entertaining.
Which is funny because this is the one game I didn't watch.
Really?
No, I lied. I did watch it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
my uncle had a parlay on this game, like an 11
I
leg
did. It
parlay,
was on. It was on in the background
and
during
he
Thanksgiving.
lost
You're
it
right.
due
You're
to
right.
Dak Prescott having 0 rushing yards. He would have won like $1,700 or something. It's kind of
Oh
crazy.
wow.
Yeah,
What he had -2. Wow, that's
yeah,
really
he needed
unfortunate.
11 rushing yards.
Cowboys are
Dang.
really getting hot, man.
They are. Their offense is on fire. That's
Yeah.
very true. And I think the additions on the trade deadline for Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson have really helped them out um, with their rushing defense. But hey, man, I got both these guys on my fantasy team. Definitely came in clutch for me.
Sheesh.
That was a great week. I had a great week in fantasy, man. Just got to keep it rolling. Yeah. So, oh yeah, fantasy playoffs are. Well, this is 2 more weeks left for the regular season, boys. I know, Mark.
I'm already
Mark,
eliminated.
you trying to not play any of your players to give me a free win this week?
Absolutely not, bro.
Please?
I gotta pick up a tight end tonight.
No, no, you don't got to do that now. Come on.
Yeah, I do, bro. Come on.
Uh, you should pick up Tucker Kraft. I hear he's a pretty good player.
He's pretty
Bengals
good on
and
the hospital bed, bro.
yeah, exactly. Bengals Ravens. Joe Burrow comes back, and should we be surprised? I don't know, but he started playing very, very well. Not a really high completion percentage, but no mistakes, touchdown, a lot of touchdowns, a lot of yards. Good for Joe Burrow, man. And the Ravens offense is
Look at
struggling
Burrow, man.
mightily.
So inspirational.
Look at Burrow,
Gotta
man.
love Derrick
So
Henry, man.
inspirational.
10 carries, 60 yards, touchdown.
Oh
It's
yeah,
good. It's great fantasy
Great.
points.
Look at Burrow,
Yeah,
man. So
great game out of him.
inspirational.
So inspirational. And the Bengals defense, which is by far the worst defense in the league, decided to just play well for some reason and shut down Lamar. I mean, he had a very bad game, a couple fumbles, an interception. Uh, I think their highest receiver was their tight end. Like I don't know what's
Isaiah
going on with
Likely, yo,
Baltimore.
don't be sleeping on Isaiah Likely, bro. That's my dog.
Oh, I'm snoring on Isaiah Likely. I don't know what you're talking about. The thing that's funny is that the Ravens are tied with the Steelers now. I think they're both 6-6, and the Bengals they're only 2 games back. They're only 2 games back. Don't look now. Can the Bengals win the AFC North?
I think so.
It'll be a fun division to watch there at the end. And then going into Black Friday. The Bears are the #1 seed in the NFC. Is that true? Because that's
It is.
that's ridiculous.
That's
I think
true.
the Bears and the Broncos, sorry, Mark, are the two most the biggest frauds of all time. Like
I
they're not
think you're
that good.
stupid.
Well, I know you think that because I'm from Denver. No, shut up, bro. The Broncos are frauds. We'll get to that. All right, that's my personal opinion. They only win games by 1 point. They struggle against all the bad teams, and they
Hey,
somehow
but
find a
on
way
that,
to pull
but
some
on
magic
that
out at the
record,
end.
you don't see the points. You see the W's and the L's.
Oh no,
What?
they're gonna make the playoffs. They're definitely gonna be a very high seed in the playoffs. They're just gonna lose in the first round. I'm telling you
Nah,
that
they're
right now.
making the Super Bowl, bro.
Oh no, sir, no, sir. I mean the Bears. They ran all over the Eagles. I mean, look at this: 130 and 125 yards from
And
two
I
different running
benched him.
backs.
Yep.
And I benched him.
DeAndre Swift was on my bench.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
very
and
unfortunate. And he had a catch too. Yeah, the Eagles are really struggling. Jalen Hurts is not very accurate, throwing interceptions everywhere. Their run game is what's really hurting
Bro,
the Eagles. They
Saquon
cannot run
is
the
trash, bro.
ball. I don't know what's been going on, man. He's really not been doing well. But AJ Brown decided to wake up. He had a crazy game, one of the best games he's had in a couple of years, probably.
They
And they
decided
still
to-
lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, very sad. I mean, I'm happy. I don't like the Eagles. Very sad for Philadelphia there. One of the most pathetic, I don't know if you guys watch this, pathetic wins of all time. We bro, like classic Dolphins, bro. We were up by a lot. It's 16-0 at halftime, and then we just completely blow it at the end. This was not very fun. I mean, he didn't really need to do a whole lot just because the Saints suck. But yeah, give Achane the ball and we'll be fine. But the passing stats for the Dolphins were not good at all.
Abysmal.
Very bad.
I don't
very
even
bad.
watch the Dolphins anymore, bro. I don't know who they are. I don't know who that is.
I think they've won their last 5 games, if I'm not mistaken. Their
I think
last 4 games.
Three games, I think.
I'm pretty sure
I
it's
think they
4.
won 4, really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. They beat the Commanders in Madrid, and they beat the Saints now, and then last week they beat the who did they play?
The LeBron Jamers.
Oh, sorry, that was the Commanders. My fault. They've won 3 in a row. They beat the Bills, and then they beat the Commanders, and then they beat the Saints. So, and then this week they play the Jets. So, we better not lose to the Jets. I'll
We're
actually
gonna
be mad
lose,
if we
bro.
lose to the Jets. Probably, but I got faith. Um, Texans and the Colts. I think Danny Dimes is injured, so it's very hard for him to run right now. But the Texans defense is playing very, very well. And they were able to pull out this game. And now it's only one game difference between the Texans and the Colts. And I think the Jaguars are also uh, in that same record. What are they right now? There's 8-4. Oh, hold on now. Hold on. And they play this week. So okay, I didn't know this. The Colts and the Jaguars, they have the same exact record, and they play this week. That's gonna be a very interesting game. The Jets, they beat the Falcons. Very, very interesting in my opinion as well. There. Uh, 49ers, Browns, whatever. The Browns suck.
Make it make sense.
I, I can't. I
Make it
don't
make sense.
understand what's going
The
on right now.
Panthers have a
7
above
wins.
500, and
The
they beat
the Panthers
the best
have a
team
better
in the
record
NFC.
than the Kansas City Chiefs. Now they've played an extra game, right? Because the Chiefs are 6-6, right?
Mhm.
But holy cat, I don't understand what's going on right now. And Bryce Young, Brand, I'm very happy for Bryce Young.
This is
He's been
I think the
balling.
craziest NFL season we've seen in the last like 10 years. Just absolutely random.
Yeah,
Yes, very random. I don't. It's ridiculous. It's insane. I don't know what's going on, but the Panthers are playing very, very well right now. Jaguars, Titans, Cam Ward sucks. We all know that. Whatever. Bucks, Bucks, Cardinals. I actually did not watch this game.
the
Bucky Irving,
Bucks,
welcome
man.
back.
Look, the Bucks. They need their receivers back. They
Yes, that's
need
true.
Ooga Booga, and
Well,
apparently,
Uga Booga's there, but
Yeah.
Baker's still injured a little bit.
but Mike Evans apparently
No, yeah, Mike
21
Evans
day
isn't
window
back.
opened up.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
could,
Wow,
could,
wow,
could
wow.
we see a return?
Maybe we'll see about that. That could be interesting. See, I feel bad for this guy, bro. Max Brosmer, NFL debut, 4 interceptions. Yeah,
Bro, that
he had to
guy's in
make
my
his.
drilling class. That's how
He had to
random
make
he is,
his.
bro. Who the?
He had to make his NFL debut
Hey,
against the
can
best
we?
defense in the entire league.
Can we go to player stats or team stats or whatever? Player
Yeah,
stats?
yeah, yeah.
Can we get a quick Justin Jefferson shout out? 2 receptions for 4 yards. Bro! Are you fucking... I'm sorry. Are you flipping kidding me, bro? Dude, I had the Seahawks defense. They dropped 28 points. All I needed was Justin Jefferson to get his projection, papa. All I needed was something. Bro, 2 receptions for 4 yards. Bro, I could do
Well,
better than that. I could win a
What do you
real-
think was gonna happen?
Very
Bro,
funny.
Bro, I mean, look. Think about it logistically, right? You have a random quarterback who's absolutely buns, right? They're gonna throw to number 1 guy. Why would they not throw to Justin?
Wait. Because the best young quarterback's best friend is their tight end. It's very simple. We all know this. This is very easy to
Bro,
decipher.
but Jordan Addison
That's why
had 10
Hawkinson
targets.
did so well.
Why? Why?
Because
Bobby.
I don't know.
Bobby, make it make sense, Bobby.
Hey man. Oh, also though, this was a horrible game for receivers. Look at Jackson Smith and Jigba, bruh.
Dude,
He
Jackson
was on
Smith
pace to break the
Jamiga.
all-time record, and now he's not anymore. So, yeah, this is just a bad offensive game. But the defense
Bro.
played very well. The Steelers, everyone wants. How do you guys feel about that? Everyone wants Mike Tomlin now to be fired. Well, what's up? With that?
I
mean, I know what's
agree
up with
with that.
You agree with it? Why do you agree?
I think, look, we've seen this consistency of the Steelers always being 9-8, barely above 500, and not doing anything kind of significant in the playoffs. I think it's time that they clean house. We saw it with teams in the past. We saw it with the Eagles. The Andy Reid, left, cleaned house, replaced everything, and they were successful. Andrew was successful somewhere else. I think Mike
Well,
Tomlin
that was
can
20
be.
years ago, bruh.
Yeah, but history repeats itself, or it rhymes, doesn't repeat itself, as Jorge Neto says.
Shout out. If you know, you know.
I think Mike Tomlin's a good coach. I think he has a better opportunity to coach somewhere else. I think he has a good opportunity to coach in college football too, if he wants. I think it'd be a cool venture for him to take on. I think it's time to clean
Interesting.
house, and Ben Roethlisberger agrees with me.
Interesting. Very interesting take there. Yes, he does. Raiders Chargers, whatever. Yeah, this game. What's up? What's up with this game, bruh? Look at Bo Nix. He's garbage, bro.
He
He's
321
garbage.
yards. What are you talking about, bro?
One touchdown, one interception.
Yeah, and
Bro.
RJ Harvey had 2 rushing tutties because they were on the 4 or the 3-yard
Okay.
line.
Okay. Look. The Broncos' offense is garbage. Okay, let's just get that. Let's just get that out of the way.
It's
The
not
Broncos'
garbage.
offense
it's
is
just
terrible. It's bad.
It's not. No,
It's
no,
bad.
no, no, look,
It's
look,
real
look,
bad.
look, look. No. May I? As a
Go ahead.
Denver Broncos connoisseur, they're not
Mhm.
garbage. They just don't have spark. They don't have that highlight. They don't have
It's a
that
real
spark.
nice way of putting it.
They don't have that.
Good players.
That no, look. They have decent players. I'm not saying they're the best, but they have decent players. But they don't have that spark. They don't have a guy that will randomly go for a 70-yard run and get a tutty randomly. They don't have a guy that will receive a 70-yard touchdown. They don't have that. They don't have that magic, that spark. They're basic. This offense
Very
is
basic.
basic, bro.
It is very basic, and that's the problem. That's why I
But-
don't think they're very good.
but
And their
defense
defense
wins
is incredible.
championships.
Their defense is incredible, and they closed out when they needed to. They bend, but they didn't break. They closed out when they needed to. However, you cannot let Marcus Mariota look like 2014 Oregon Heisman Trophy winner Marcus Mariota. What are we doing, man?
He didn't look like
Yeah.
that, bro.
I watched the game. I watched the entire
28
game.
for 50,
Marcus Mariota.
Papa.
No.
28
The
28 for 50.
stats do not
Papi,
show you.
Papi,
I'm telling you.
two
I'm telling you.
tutties.
I'm telling you.
Two tutties and
I
one
watched the game.
interception.
I watched the game.
294 yards.
Mark. Shh. I watched the game. He was really good. He was clutch when he needed to be. He was really, really good. And the Broncos defense did not look that good until like the last play of the game, Nick Bonito. But let me tell you something, man. The Broncos are frauds. They are going to lose in the first round of the playoffs. I'm telling you right now.
No, they're not, bro.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
I'm telling you.
I don't think so.
telling you. I think so.
Alright.
And then, I hate the Patriots, man. Why are they good, bro? They're just. This is very.
The
hard.
Patriots, yeah.
The thing that was hilarious was the kicker that like subbed his toe
Bro,
on the
Young
ground.
Wei
That was
Koo, dude.
hilarious.
Young Wei
That was
Koo.
really funny.
Bro, okay, dude. I swear, man. He looked.
No,
he
did
looked
you
like.
see the Jackson Dart clip of like him reacting to
Yeah.
it live?
Oh no, I didn't.
Man,
It's
Oh,
so
like when he
funny.
went like that.
Yeah.
Like, he rolled his eyes.
Man.
Yeah, it's true.
Young Wei Koo looked like Colin and I at Palmetto Golf Course on the last 5 holes, just
Whoa,
flubbing everything,
we played well. What do you mean now?
except the last 2, bro.
Yeah, last two were rough.
Man,
Yeah, that was.
That's
the
pretty
thing with the
embar-
Patriots though is that like they haven't really. I don't want to say nothing, so I don't like make a fool out of myself. But have they played any teams that are good recently? Like
Honestly, I don't think so.
Mm.
their record is very good, but I feel like their schedule has been a cakewalk.
Why don't you look?
Yeah, I'm gonna check right now. Hold on. Let me see. So when they beat the Bills, that was obviously a huge win, right? But I feel like besides that, so let's see. They lost to the Raiders, by the way, which whatever, that was the first week of the season. but I find that to be hilarious. And then they lost to the Steelers. They beat the Dolphins. Dolphins suck. They beat the Panthers. I mean, look, they have
So
a
they
good record.
started
That's
off
the- that's the
0-2?
Panthers. No, sorry. They were 0-1. They lost to the Raiders. 1-1. They beat the Dolphins. 1-2. They lost to the Steelers, and then they've won 10 in a row. 10 in a row. They beat the Panthers. All right, whatever. The Bills, good win. Then
Hey,
they beat the
the
Saints.
Panthers is a good win. They have a winning record. They have a
I guess,
above
but it's
500
still the
record.
Panthers. It's still the Panthers. But listen to this: New Orleans Saints, Tennessee Titans. I'm going in order, by the way. Cleveland Browns, Atlanta Falcons, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, good win, Tampa Bay. The New York Jets, the Joe Flacco Bengals, and the New York Giants. All right, we need to calm down a little bit. The Patriots look real good. Jake May looks real good, but their record is pretty garbage. It's pretty bad. So
Yeah.
we'll see what what happens when they play in the playoffs. But I feel like the AFC is a little weak this year because they got the Broncos and the Patriots are in front and frauds. And then let me see what's next. So then you have the Jaguars, the Ravens, wow, that's actually a huge drop off. Oh no, because this is my fault. This is not this.
That's because
forgot I said that.
those are the division leaders.
Yeah, my fault. So after the Patriots and the Broncos, it's the Jaguars, the Chargers, and the Colts and the Bills. Like the AFC's real weak this year, so that's the only reason why those teams have a chance to like win a couple playoff games. But if the okay, I'm gonna say this right now. If the Patriots or the Broncos make the AFC Championship game, I will do something because I don't think that's gonna happen.
What if they
Y'all
both
can
make
decide.
it?
If they both make it, then I will. You won't see me on the podcast anymore. Let's just say that. All right. So we'll see. But yeah, I don't know.
Colin will
Quote that, chat. Quote that.
clip it,
Yeah.
chat. Clip it.
Clip it.
Clip it, chat.
Well, that's that. That was week 13 in the NFL. And now let's get into our week 14 predictions. So we didn't do predictions when we were gone the last 2 weeks. So the records are still the same since the last time we showed you. And Mark, I believe, is 3 games ahead, or 4 games ahead of me. And I think I'm like 2 or 3 games ahead of Oscar. So we got a lot of catching up to do. And there's only 5 weeks left. So we got to get on going now. But unless we do the playoffs. But starting off, week 14, Thursday night football. Very, very exciting matchup. Must win for both teams. I think whoever loses this game is not going to make the playoffs, which is very surprising for these two franchises. But the Cowboys and the Lions on Thursday night. Mark Francis, who you got?
Give it the Cowboys.
Cowboys for Mark. Mark, what happened? I thought you used to be the biggest Lions fan of all time.
I do like the Lions. The problem is the Lions have nobody right now. Their whole team is injured.
That's true. That is a
Yeah,
good
and the
point.
Cowboys are on fire as of late, so I'm gonna have to agree with him. Give me the Cowboys.
Cowboys it is. This game is it's in Detroit. Oh wow. This is real annoying right now. Because I feel like the Lions
The Lions are a
the
better
Lions
team,
are better. Exactly, but just the injuries, right? That's the problem. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I'd like CeeDee Lamb to drop a cool 40 points, so and
but
Javonte Williams as well. All right, Titans Browns. Ugh, disgusting.
the toilet bowl.
Yeah.
Hey.
Uh,
This is like,
hey.
you guys ever see that video of Cam Ward and Shadir like practicing together?
Yeah,
This
it's
is
true.
literally that all over again. They're gonna be talking so much trash to each other, bro.
I haven't thought about that. That's actually good. It's a good storyline right there.
Yeah,
And we all know
give me
who's
the
gonna get that
Titans.
last laugh.
Alright, Oscar.
She told me
Oscar
about
wants
AP,
the Titans.
Perfect timing.
I'm gonna go with the Browns. I think their defense is what's gonna hold them together here. So, give me the Cleveland Browns.
Wait, is the game in Cleveland or
It is. It's in Cleveland, Ohio, my
Oh,
boy.
give me the Browns then.
Oh, he's switching up now. All right,
Yeah.
all right. Mark Shadur.
She told me about AP, perfect
Sugar.
timing. Hey, give me the Browns. What?
Oh my God! All right, we all got the Browns. Falcon, Seahawks. Yeah, give me
Battle of
Seahawks.
the Birds. Battle of the Birds.
I'm going Seahawks.
Yeah, I am as well. Seahawks
Yeah,
are just
give
a
me
better
the,
team.
Give me the Seahawks.
All right. Next we got the Colts in Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Huge game
Matchup
there.
of the week, possibly.
Possibly. I'm gonna go with the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are gonna win this game.
Give me my guy JT. Hey,
Hey.
and the
Hey,
Colts.
Colts for Oscar, Mark, Francis.
Give me the Colts, brother.
Colts. All right.
She
I'm
told
going
me
against
bust
the
up my
grain
AP,
here.
perfect timing.
All right, Commanders and the Vikings.
Is
Commanders. Jaden Daniels is playing. And I
Is-
think JJ McCarthy is set
J-
to play as well.
is JJ McCarthy playing?
He's like it's probable. I think.
Is
I think
JJ
so.
McCarthy playing? Google, tell me.
I'm going with the Commanders. I don't really care if he's playing or not.
You go with the Commanders?
Heck yeah, I'm going with the Commanders. Have you seen the Vikings? They're garbage.
Yeah. Still, I don't know. I think they're both garbage.
Oh yeah, that's true. But I just think the Vikings are more garbage. Their defense was supposed to be good. Their defense is terrible.
Yeah. I don't know what he just didn't lock in this year.
I know. It's true.
It's because Chris
It's
Drew got
true.
fired. He's scared.
I guess. Give me the Commanders.
Well, I don't want to sway you there, Oscar.
Yeah,
Commanders?
but I mean, it makes sense.
All right, all right.
Yeah, give me the Vikings, bro.
Uh, Vikings. All right. See, this is how Mark is ahead of us. He keeps picking these games, and he's going to be right. Matchup of the week, in my personal opinion: Bengals and the Bills in Buffalo. Great, great matchup. Battle of the quarterbacks. Give me Joe Shiesty, man. I think Chase Brown gonna have a big game. Gonna run all over the Bills defense because they're garbage. And the Bills have been looking kind of bad lately. Mr. Josh Allen's been turning the ball over a lot. Yeah, give me Joe Burrow and the Bengals now.
Go Burr.
Joe Burr. What do you guys think?
No, I think the Bills will pull through.
Boo.
Even though I love Joe Burr, he's my favorite quarterback. He's my favorite player in the league.
Wow, wow. High praise. Mark, what do you think?
You know,
Keep
I've
smiling
got
over there.
I've got a hot take, and I think the Bengals are gonna win the AFC whatever
North?
division they're in. I think
Wow.
the Bengals win this game, bro.
Hey, nice pick there, Mark. I agree with you.
How many games
Uh,
behind
Two
Baltimore
games.
are they?
2 games.
Tied?
Baltimore and
yeah,
Steelers
two
are
games.
tied. It's possible, bro.
It's very possible. It's actually becoming likely at this point. Not Isaiah likely.
And the
though, 'cause
Steelers
that
and
guy's
Ravens play
trash.
this week, so yeah.
Oh yeah, wow, that's true as well. Next game though is the Saints and the Buccaneers, another divisional game. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Give me my most improved player of the year, 2023.
Tyler Show.
Shuck, like
Oh, whatever.
oysters.
I don't know, man. It has.
You got the Saints for real?
No, give me the Buccaneers, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
Come
then
on,
why'd you
man.
say Tyler Shuck, bruh?
Yeah, he sucks.
Oh,
Give me
Shuck
the-
sucks. Wow, that's
Give me
Alright.
the Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield.
all right. One of the best rivalries in the NFL: Steelers and the Ravens in Baltimore. Huge divisional game. What do you guys think here?
I think the Steelers collapse has to be, like examined or whatever, because the Ravens are gonna win this game.
All right.
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers has reached that age where he's what's the word they would say? Geriatric. So, give me the Ravens.
Ravens. The Ravens. All right. Next game. This is very easy.
Baltimore.
Dolphins. Baltimore. This game is pretty much a no-brainer for me. I think it's very obvious that the Dolphins are going to win. They're going to make the playoffs. We're only one game back of the Chiefs, if y'all haven't noticed yet. So I think we're going to win.
Yeah.
Or actually, maybe 2 games back.
I
I'm not
think
sure.
the Dolphins are going to win as well.
Actually, no, 1 game back.
I third that. I think the Dolphins are gonna win.
Wow. Wow. All right, very nice.
Watch, now
Another
we lose.
divisional matchup. Now we lose. God dang it, guys. Broncos and the Raiders. 2-10 Raiders versus the 10-2 Broncos. We saw them play already on that horrible Thursday night game where the Broncos won 10-7. That was pretty bad. Now we're gonna have another rematch here. This time it's in Las Vegas, Nevada, for the first 4 o'clock game of our Sunday afternoon. So, Mark, let me hear what you have to say about this game.
Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Broncos country.
Broncos country.
Let's ride.
Broncos country.
Thank you.
Let's ride. All right, you got the Broncos, Oscar.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now,
You're welcome.
this is a Mark Francis Bowl right here. Because you got
Raiders.
and Broncos country. That's right.
Let's ride.
So you're gonna have to give me Knicks, Vicks. I was trying to think of things that rhymed with Knicks and Vicks,
Wah wah.
but I couldn't come up with one. So
Nick
give me the
sticks.
Broncos.
Put some pixie sticks on my. No.
No,
All right.
Knicks, Vicks,
Whoa.
lineup sticks, Broncos, and one.
Have a Merry
Broncos
Christmas.
and 6.
That rhymes. Christmas
7.
rhymes a little bit. All right, bruh. I'm gonna go with the Broncos as well. I think the Raiders low-key are probably gonna win this game, but I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna go with the Broncos. I feel like the Raiders are gonna pull a little shocker there. Next game, Rams and the Cardinals. This would be the type of game the Rams lose, but I'm gonna go with the Rams still. I think the Rams are gonna win this game. They need to get back on track there.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Give me the Rams. Best. I think they're the best team in the NFL right now.
Yeah, give me the Rams.
All right.
Rams.
And then next up, the biggest rivalry in the NFL: Packers versus the Bears to see who's gonna be atop the NFC North. What do you think? No? Nobody knows what they're going to pick?
I don't know how.
I don't know.
I don't know why. But I feel like this fraudulent ass team is gonna find a way to win this game. So I'm gonna go with the Bears.
Whoa. The Bears.
The Bears.
See, I'm saying go Pack go. I think the Packers are going to win this
I think
game.
the Packers should win this game, but
I hope they do. This
I
is
don't know why.
honestly
I just have a
two
gut
frauds,
feeling.
low key. Because the Packers are losing games they have no business losing, but then the Bears are frauds. So it's like, what are these gonna like? One of these are gonna. I don't know. I'm still going with the Packers though.
It's really tempting because
Where's the game?
The game's in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
No, give me the Packers.
Oh, he switched again only because they're home. Wow.
Man,
It is the biggest rivalry in the NFL. I think this matters.
All right, that's a
I'm
good
really
point.
liking Ben Johnson and this Bears team. I'm really liking what he's doing and incorporating this, two running back scheme here and, just impressive wins. But I don't think they can handle that defensive line of the Packers. I don't think those guys are going to rush for far. I don't think Caleb Williams is going to have time to throw the ball, which is why it pains me to say, because I really want the
Nobody
Packers
has
to win,
time to
because
paint
the
his
Pope
nails.
is from Chicago
Bears.
and the Pope was in Lebanon, so it all clicks, right? But give me the Packers. And I hate saying that. It bothers me to say it.
Go Pack go,
How
baby.
does the fall of Constantinople affect LeBron's career?
All right, now moving on to prime time.
This is the type
Sunday
of
night
connection
football. The
Mark
Texans
was making,
go
bro.
to Kansas City. Take on the Chiefs, the slumping Chiefs. The Texans are on the rise. The Chiefs are on the decline. Who will win this game? It's a must-win for the Chiefs. And honestly, even if they win, they probably might not make the playoffs anyways. But honestly, I'm not going to give up on the Chiefs until they don't make the playoffs. So give me Kansas City, baby.
I agree.
I third that. I think the Chiefs as a team with their backs against the wall are probably one of the best teams ever.
That's
They're
true.
desperate.
But the problem is they've had their backs up against the wall for a while now, and they still haven't won a game. So I'm getting a little skeptical now.
But now, they flipping the switch. Type,
All right. We'll see. Last but not least, Monday Night Football on December 8th, the Eagles play the Chargers in LA. Now the Eagles have been slumping. Their offense is garbage. They don't have a run game. Everyone wants Patullo fired. Blah blah blah. The Chargers, on the other hand, though, do not have an offensive line, and Justin Herbert broke his hand, his non-throwing hand, and he is expected to play, but he will have a cast on his left hand. I don't know how that's going to go. I hope it goes well because he's on my fantasy team. But yeah, Eagles Chargers in Monday Night Football. What do you guys think?
I think the Eagles win as a bounce back game after losing to the Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah, Mark, what do you think?
It bothers me because every time I feel like the Chargers have hope, like Justin Herbert like breaks his nose or bro, this guy has like the most random injuries of dude.
Yeah, that's true.
This
I
guy
agree
has the
with Mark.
most random injury. It's like he jammed
I
his
wonder
finger.
why.
Well, I mean, because he has no offensive line.
Exactly.
Bro, he literally has Miami Cole Park Senior High School offensive line as his offensive line, which is
Weren't
why
you on the O-line, Mark?
me.
Look at this guy.
I barely made the cutoff too. I was close. I could have been. They would have
Oh
had
my
me on
God.
left edge, left end or whatever. I don't know.
Left tackle.
Yeah, left tackle.
Left
whatever.
bench, left bench?
Left bench too. Yeah,
Sorry.
fly Eagles fly, bro.
All right,
Just put the
Eagles.
fries in the bag.
Put the
just put
fries in the
just
bag,
put the
bro.
fries in the bag already.
All right, there you
Man,
go.
what a big week for football. You have big
Definitely.
college football games that can decide the fate of the universe. You
Go
have
Literally.
Raiders.
you have big NFL
Go
games that can
Cougars.
decide divisions.
Mahomes, 180, Texas Tech Raiders. Go, go,
And,
go.
and you
Mormons,
have
Mormons, Mormons.
and you
Sorry.
have big exams that will decide your fate if have good grades or not. So,
Mm-hmm.
big week all
Facts.
around. A big performance is expected by everyone here, including myself and Colin and Oscar. But this should
Mm-hmm.
be a very exciting week. We're glad to be back. Looking
Absolutely.
forward to next week, seeing what happens. And
Yeah.
anything else you guys want to say?
Yeah, and then we had a turkey bowl. It was a great time. Also, fantasy football's coming to an end very soon. But guess what? Once we're done with finals, we go back home. We got Santa Bowl. Forget Turkey Bowl. Time for Santa Bowl, and we got Santa Slam. We're gonna have a lot of fun sporting events going on
What's
for the
Santa Slam?
boys. Santa Slam, bro. We hooping for real, bro. Stop
Oh,
playing.
tight sheet, tight.
Hey man, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, you guys are gonna be there 10 days before I am, so don't miss me too much.
Ooh, I'm joking.
I'm just joking. I'm not joking. I am gonna be 10 days later though, but it'll be fine. It'll be okay. Things we do for the Huzz. But that's it, guys. We appreciate you guys tuning in to the episode of the Get It Right Saturday Night podcast. We hope you guys are enjoying, and we're all glad to be back. And most importantly, make sure you take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Peace and love, baby.